Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. This is the Friday, August 13th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. And some big weather changes about to unfold for us here as we go through the next couple of days. And then some interesting weather to unfold for us next week. And I'll get into that, plus maybe where the tropical pattern is trying to head as we go through today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thanks for joining us. Let's start off with a look at the watch warning and advisory situation across the lower 48. Still a lot of heat lingering around the Mississippi Valley and the Plain States today, and also still some heat advisories for Georgia and South Carolina, but the pattern's changing. These are the temperatures. These are 4 a.m. temperatures across the lower 48, and I want to point out, while it's still very, very warm and muggy back in the Plains and the Mississippi Valley, notice the cool air up here in the New England states, and we're going to have one of our cold air damming or wedging scenarios unfold, where we're going to see that cooler air begin to wedge down the eastern side of the mountains as we get into this upcoming weekend. In fact, you can see the beginnings of that here on the wind streamlines. Notice you can kind of pick out the center of the high circulation really right in this area now. And we're going to see that move into the New England states and wedge down the mountains here over the next 24 hours or so. This is the upper air chart today. Notice no huge ridge anywhere to be found across the lower 48. You have to go off to the Pacific coast to see that setting up shop. Oop, let me get that fixed for us. Let's go out now to, this will be 8 a.m. Tuesday of next week. This is off the GFS rather, and notice big trough diving into the Midwest and the Great Lakes region, and that is still what is left of the Tropical Depression number 5, still sitting close to New Orleans. And then we go on out to Friday evening of next week, about a week from now, and that's where the GFS actually picks up the remnant low that was Tropical Depression 5 and lifts it up, enhancing the rain chance in the Carolinas. A couple of the indices to look at, showing you this bit of a pattern change. First of all, this is the PNA, the Pacific North Atlantic, and notice it is getting into the strongly positive category here as we go throughout the next week or so. Oftentimes that teleconnects to a ridge near the west coast and a trough somewhere near the eastern United States. And this is the Arctic Oscillation. Notice it's spiking negative here over the next 4 to 5 days. And that oftentimes delivers some chillier air into Canada that then, if you can get that ridge in the eastern part of the country, can be delivered. And I think some sections of the country will be seeing that. Exactly where that sets up next week and beyond is still a question mark, but I'll get into that here. Let's go to the modeling specifically for the southeastern part of the country. And this is the GFS valid today. I think as a cold front continues to gradually slide south of the region, I'll mention the chance of at least a few passing showers or thunderstorms. And then we really begin to feel the wedge Saturday. The high pressure is centered well off to our north, but in a favorable enough position to wedge down the eastern side of the mountains. When you get above, say, 6,000 or 7,000 feet off the ground, they flow generally out of the west and southwest. That results in clouds and shower chances. That's what we'll see this weekend. So I'll mention the chance of some showers from time to time Saturday and Sunday. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder, but I think the severe weather potential is low. And it'll be cooler. In fact, I think most of us probably mid-80s at best for highs on Saturday and again on Sunday as well. Now, as we get into next work week, the next cold front slowly approaches. It's still centered off to our west here on Monday on the GFS, and it's actually even farther west than that on the European. So it looks like warmer Monday, maybe 90 or 91, lower 90s probably for a lot of our highs Monday, with a few afternoon storms a possibility. And generally speaking, I think the chances will increase for showers and storms as we go through next work week. This is Tuesday. Probably some scattered storms Tuesday, highs upper 80s or lower 90s. Same deal Wednesday. Now, keep an eye back toward Mississippi. There's the GFS indicating that remnant low. Let's go out another day. This is Thursday, and then we begin to see on the GFS that deeper tropical moisture moving into our area. There's Thursday. There is Friday. The European not as bullish with that, but I do think it's a possibility. There's been really a pretty good amount of model consensus, rather, that we're going to see this remnant low kind of meander close to the Gulf Coast for the next 4 or 5 days, and then most likely, depending on how this trough, let's go back to this, depending on how this trough unfolds as we get into next week, that'll determine where this remnant low winds up. And there's some chance it could wind up enhancing our rain chances around here toward the end of next week. Let's see. And there's a look at, Friday. Still seeing that good chances for some showers and storms. All right, quickly in the tropics, all is quiet now. No areas of concern. But I wanted to show you this. This is off of the European model. And this is the upper air chart. And I know this might be tough to see on the video. Let me kind of show you where we're looking. Here is the United States, upper left-hand part of your screen. This is South America. And what we're looking at is a big, on the European at least, is a big upper-level ridge centered over the Atlantic Ocean. And it is in a position where anything that develops out here and the tropical Atlantic will get steered in the general direction of the southeast coast. So if anything does pop in terms of tropical development next week, it'd have a better chance of making a run at the coast due to the upper air pattern that tries to set up over the Atlantic, at least assuming the European is correct, and a lot of times it is in this time range with the setup over the Atlantic. So we'll see how the tropics begin to unfold next week. All right, that's it for this Friday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Get that microphone back. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. God bless.